Today on the FightCon podcast, I'm joined by Shane Fazen, the creator of Fight Tips on YouTube with millions of subscribers worldwide. Shane has built a platform not only that teaches technique, but inspires confidence and discipline through combat sports. He'll be at FightCon October 4th, hosting a special seminar. And today we're going to talk about his journey and his impact on the fight community. Not only that, but what to expect at FightCon. Shane, welcome to the show.
Hey, Andre, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So I want to start off there. What is Fight Tips and when did you create this thing?
Fight Tips started, I was 14 years old. It was 2004. My older brother was like, I want to make a website, but I don't know what to make it about. Do you want to make a website with me? And I had just gotten my black belt in Taekwondo. Growing up in the streets of Philly, we would get in some street fights here and there. So that was kind of that was like the main topic of conversation with my group of friends. We would bring boxing gloves up to the school, the schoolyard, and spar and wrestle. And one day I got a job and invested in a digital camera because we didn't have cell phones back then with cameras in them. So I bought a camera and then we started filming these videos, and then they became tutorials, and we just stuck with it. And when YouTube came out in 2005, started uploading videos there, and we were just one of the first. It was just fortunate timing. We were one of the first channels to do martial arts. We stuck with it, and here we are.
When I hear Philly, I don't think of jujitsu. I don't think of Aikido. I don't think of any other martial art than boxing,
Mhm.
obviously for obvious reasons, right? You guys got a statue of a fictional boxer in your city.
Yeah,
But
which my wife and I just went there to celebrate our anniversary this past weekend, and we went to the art museum. Uh, and there's two now. There's one at the bottom of the stairs and one at the top of the stairs. I never knew there was two Rocky statues.
that's messed up. Hey, Sylvester, how about give Creed one? All right. How about that?
Yeah, for real.
But the reason why I say that is because I think of boxing, but was boxing your introduction to mixed martial arts or what? Like what discipline?
Taekwondo was my first. So my father's a black belt in Taekwondo. I actually trained under the same school that he trained at, same grandmaster that he got his black belt from. He was a Philly cop, so he was like, you gotta do something. You gotta play a sport. You gotta pick up an instrument. You can't just hang out in the streets with your friends. So tried a couple of different sports and fell in love with Taekwondo. Started competing, and then Ong Bak came out. I don't know if you remember that movie, Tony
Of course,
Jaa. I
Tony
was like,
Jaa.
yeah, I was like, Ong Bak kickboxer with Van Damme. I was like, I want to do that. So I found an MMA gym on the other side of town. I had to take a bus to the train to another bus to get there. It took me about an hour and a half to get to the gym. Um, but that was it. That is MMA. Once I started training there, I started competing. Then flew to Thailand when I was 19, had a match in Thailand. Then when I came back, I hurt my foot in that match. I was like, I still want to compete, but I can't kick things for a while. So I started boxing. That's when I joined a boxing gym, Jack Costello's, fought Golden Gloves, Mid Atlantics, then moved out to California and continued to compete up there. And then decided that I wanted to coach, that I was more interested and had more passion for coaching. So I took my fight experience and started teaching others.
You mentioned kickboxer. I was literally just watching that last night, and Bloodsport's one of my favorite movies of all time. I realized last night that it's the same movie.
It's a,
Same.
it's a template. It works though.
It did. But with Fight Tips, what is the reward that you get out of the giving people these scenarios and telling people about these different tips with fighting? What's the
I can't tell
reward?
you how many people have sent me messages, heartfelt, very, very serious scenarios that people were in, from abusive households to fighting depression to just being bullied. And a lot of people say that Fight Tips is their introduction to martial arts. Um, it gave them the confidence to then look for a gym in their area and sign up for that gym, or just start training from home and build the confidence to stand up to their bully or whatever it may be. And that's the fuel that encourages me to keep going every single day and keep making content.
What style or discipline influence your coaching the most?
It's a good question. I think I had a lot of really strong positive role models in my life. Um, and also like the things that I didn't like. I didn't like the evil in the neighborhood, and I wanted to give an outlet, provide something for people that helped me. I know that martial arts was my ticket out of a potential life of crime and drugs, which a lot of my friends went down that path. Um, and I tried to encourage them to get into martial arts back then. It was just, I think you had to have that drive, that passion yourself. Um, and for me, I think that was really what drove me to coach and provide that, that outlet for people so that they could just find a better life, a more fulfilling life through martial arts.
You mentioned that in the latest video that you posted, the 8 vs 8, right? You mentioned the addiction, and you, at the end of your video, you share how it impacted you personally. How did you stay out of the drug life and out of the life of a, as far as like addiction?
I lost my best friend when I was 17, and that hit me really hard. Then I lost my cousin a couple months later. Then I just continued to lose more friends. Um, and in that time, I was starting to compete more seriously, and I was taking my fight career more seriously. And I think again, it was just fortunate timing. I look back and I'm very grateful on how my life panned out and the timing of everything. And I think just getting a taste of death at a young age and seeing, how much I really appreciated my group of friends, and just seeing that life is sacred and just trying to take control of my life. And I look at martial arts as music and our bodies as the instrument. And you can never get too good. You can never learn self-control too much. So I think for me it was just dedicating my life to being a lifelong martial artist and developing that self-control.
You mentioned Pops was a cop. Why didn't you go the cop route?
I almost did. I don't talk about this a lot. I almost became a state trooper. I went pretty far in the testing. Um, and then fell in love and decided that I wanted to just start making money elsewhere, and then coaching took over.
Dang, man, we could have had you in these Philly streets state patrolling.
I
Yeah,
know.
could have had the cool hat.
It could it could have been way different though. My life could have been way different.
That's true. You coach, right?
I do at Beacon MMA in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
You coach pros and amateurs alike. I'm assuming you help out with kids. What's your approach as far as coaching uh the spectrum of both pros and amateurs?
Yeah, I take a little bit from all of the different um, styles that I've trained over the years. From the Taekwondo student creed, I make the kids recite that every class before we do our training, and that's just a promise that they're going to use martial arts for good, that they're going to stay disciplined, that they're going to seek self improvement, um, and then again, just taken from these different disciplines. I always say at the end of class too, like all a coach ever looks for is effort and respect. Respect is important because this is a great tool that we have, but great responsibility comes with that. Um, when I say to the kids, I say you could use these superpowers that you're going to learn for good or for evil, but I want you to be a superhero. I don't want you to be a supervillain. And then effort is just show up every day and put forth maximum effort. When we get to the level of competition, the us as coaches, we don't care if you get your hand raised and you win or lose. All we look for is effort. Um, and when it comes to respect, the reason why that's so important is because a good coach wants their athletes, they want their students to be better than they ever were. We want you to learn from our mistakes. We want you to learn all of the secrets of the trade that we know because we want you to be even better than us. And I think that requires like the highest level of humility. Like we have some crazy athletes at the gym right now that have been training for a fraction of the amount of time that I've been training, and they're better than me. Like if we were to spar or we were to get in competition, they would beat me. Um, and I think that's why it's so important that we ask for respect. It's because like we give you everything. We give you the tools to be better than us, to beat us. We want you to pay that forward and stay humble in your journey.
You said something profound to me when you talked about kids that are doing it now are way better than you were at at their age. Um, Being ingrained in this mixed martial arts community here in Salt Lake City, Utah, the last 10 years we've seen a big boom in mixed martial artists skill level. The amateurs of 10 years and from last, 10 years from now, they are 10 years previous, they are not the amateurs of today. The amateurs of
Yeah,
today would be pros 10 years ago. So
absolutely.
what
Yeah.
what do you think it is that is making such better athletes in mixed martial arts today?
Yeah, I think what it is, Andre, is like there was a lot of gatekeeping as recent as like I mean it still kind of happens, but there were certain pioneers, especially in let's just say Muay Thai, that came over from Thailand and were open to teaching the foreigner their ways, their secrets of how to be better at Muay Thai. A lot of the times they didn't want the foreigners to be better, right? That the Thais were like, "This is our sport. We want to run this." But then you had someone like Jang Sanan, the Wooden Man, who came over and was very open to helping Americans get better at the sport because he cared about the sport itself. He wanted to see Muay Thai grow. And I think that's what it is we didn't actually know what true Muay Thai was. We didn't understand the scoring, we didn't understand the rule set, we didn't understand the training methods behind it. But now we're starting to learn that more and more through travel and then through people like Jong Sanan who came over here and were open-minded and willing to share that stuff.
How was your time in Thailand?
Yeah, I've been to Thailand 5 times now and should be heading back soon for another match that's undisclosed, but news should be coming out soon on that. Uh, Thailand is I recommend it to everybody. I not just for the training and how beautiful that country is, but just being a little bit more open-minded to learning about other cultures. I think that is like one of the most important things. I was fortunate enough to go at 19 years old. It was a crazy time when I went. The American embassy shut down the day before I left because there was riots and protests out there. Um, so wasn't supposed to go, went anyway. I was there for a month, had a match out there that I wasn't expecting to have. I was hoping to get a match, but I went out to watch one of the trainers fight at the gym that I was at, Tip. And while I was in the crowd, one of the promoters came up to me and said, I hear you want to fight in Thailand. And I was like, that's why I'm here. And he's like, cool, we got a guy for you. You're going to fight him tonight. I didn't have a mouthpiece. I didn't have a cup. I had to borrow shorts. I had to borrow a cup. And I fought without a mouthpiece, got caught with a spinning elbow right in the face in the third round, dropped, got right back up. And then the camera died. We have most of it on camera except for the fourth round. So you have to take my word for it when I say that I won that match in the fourth round. Luckily, he just kind of gave up. I hit him with a body shot. He didn't get up. And it was like 2 in the morning. I was exhausted. Crazy, crazy time.
Oh my gosh, man. What's are American athletes, are they welcome? Like, what's the vibe from other locals out there to Americans?
They're very kind, like very, very open now because I mean, I think just the Thais as a people are very kind, polite, patient people. Um, but in addition to that, the tourism is like Muay Thai brings so much tourism to their economy, so they welcome that. We bring our money over there and pay for personal training sessions and help run these gyms. Um, like anywhere else in the world, as long as you're kind to them, they're gonna be kind and polite to you back.
Now you kind of slipped it in that you might be competing in Thailand. Is this a Muay Thai fight?
It's not me. I thought about it. I was contemplating about taking a match at the end of the year, but I made a promise to myself because I was just sick of the flip flopping, going back and forth. But no, one of my athletes that's signed to a very big organization has a match signed. They just haven't announced it yet, but I will be cornering him um, in a couple months.
How does that make you feel to be a coach and to help an athlete go for their dreams?
Yeah, it's it's the most rewarding, especially since I've lost that passion to fight myself. I don't really have that fire burning anymore, but I really see it in others, and it's we work with one of the best strikers on the planet, Luke Lisi, the chef. His work ethic is the highest I've ever seen. He encourages his teammates to be as good as him. He's the best sparring partner, and when I see what he's capable of, that gives me the drive. That makes that fire burn more than ever before. So yeah, it's hard to put into words, but when you get to see um, him get his hand raised at the end of a fight after a super long camp, and it's not just a long camp; he's dedicated his life to this. Um, yeah, it's very fulfilling.
That's the cool thing about mixed martial arts is that if the fighter wins, obviously this is a great joy, right? Yeah, we won, we got the belt. But at the same time, it gives the coach more more this might sound bad, but it gives the coach more eyes to be like, hey, I want to be a champion too. I want to win some fights. I'm gonna go train underneath this guy, right? So I love that for this sport as well, because we see the limelight, we see the fighters win, but we also need to keep in mind that the coach is winning as well.
Yeah, and it goes back to respect and effort again. Like coaches who coach fighters, they don't make a lot of money. There's not money. Like it's a passion project. Gyms make money from the everyday folk that come in and want to train alongside of the fighters, and they want to learn real Muay Thai, and they want to hit the heavy bag, and they do it for the fitness aspects. Fighters don't make a lot of money. It costs money usually for the gym. It costs money for the coach for the traveling, and then they don't get paid a lot on top of that. So, like you said, it's rewarding when you start to gain momentum and start to see more wins. But ultimately, it's human growth. You're looking for just for that person to achieve their dreams, and then maybe they become a coach themselves, and again they pay it forward and teach the things that we taught them and take from their experiences and help others grow.
What's the biggest misconception about fighting?
I would say probably that. It's probably that fighters make a lot of money. It's the top 0.1% that actually make money. A lot of these athletes also have day jobs. And it's tough. It's grueling. Like the training itself is really hard, but to come from an 8-10 hour shift, we have nurses that fight, we have guys that you know deliver for FedEx and Amazon that fight. Um, and they're tired. There's new dads that are fighters and they don't get to sleep because the kids are up all night. um, yeah, it's you have to be consistently tired. You have to be uh you have to push through and do your best when you don't feel like it all the time. So when people watch UFC and go, I could get in there and do that, you might be able to step in that cage and get in there and get beat up. But to train consistently for years when your body's beat up and you're tired, not many people can do that.
Yeah, that's the fight right there. One of my really good friends in heavyweight out here in Utah, Zeke Latu, he is also he's a mover. So he's literally
Yeah.
moving couches and dishwashers and stuff. And then he's
Yeah.
also he has a heavy bag in the moving truck. So he's like training
Oh
inside
man.
the moving truck.
That's the lifestyle though. Yeah, that's what it is. Like a lot of we'll get those kids that come in all the time and we got to stop ourselves from rolling our eyes, but they're like I'm going to be the best UFC fighter in the world and it's just, 17-year-old kid who's never trained before and it's like awesome. Like I hope that's true. And then they're like I want to be on the fight team and it's like well you got to go through the process first. First you got to train, you got to show up and show that you're consistent first. You got to come to all the sparring. Come for a month. We want to see you in 3 sparring sessions each week for a month. And that usually weans out most of the people. They don't even do that. And then at the end of the month they go, "Can I join fight team?" And we go, "Let's see. How many times did you come to sparring?" "Twice this month." "What happened?" "Oh, see, I got schoolwork." "Cool. Let's try it again next month." And it's just you have to follow the process, and it's for your own good. It's for your safety because we've had tons of people who leave the gym because they don't want to go through that process. It takes too long. Then they go to another gym, and then that gym says, "Cool, let's do it. Let's give you a fight." They go in and they get hurt in the first round. And that's on the coach. Like we don't let people fight unless we think that you're physically and mentally capable because we don't want you to get hurt. It's all about safety. And that's on us if you get hurt. So that's why it's a process. And a lot of people take that personally. They're like, "Oh, you don't believe in me." And it's not what it is. We just want to make sure that you don't get hurt or you don't break mentally.
Now Shane Fazen on the horn right now with us. He'll be at FightCon October 4th. Get your tickets, fightconexpo.com. Shane, what should we expect from your seminar?
Yeah. So if you watched the biggest boxing match of the century over the past weekend, Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. The whole world thought that Canelo was going to beat him because he was so much bigger and just the better fighter, the better boxer. And I have receipts. I've been saying for months that I knew Bud was gonna win this fight. I didn't think he was going to do it that decisively, but he made it look easy through a lot of the concepts that I'm going to be teaching at my seminar. I call it the spiral theory footwork. It's something that we use with Luke Lisi. It works really well in Muay Thai, works really well in boxing, And it's one of those things that once you learn it, you can't unsee it. And you start to see the highest level strikers using this style of footwork. And when they do, they win fights.
Mm. Come and learn it. Is this open to the public, or do you have to sign? Like, how do you get to learn this stuff?
Yeah, so come out to FightCon, grab your tickets, and then sign up for my seminar. It's open for everybody. We want all levels to come out because it's a progressive system where you're going to learn. You don't need any equipment, you don't need any prior experience. We're going to break it down for you step by step. And even if you're not a competitor yourself, the cool thing about learning this type of footwork is when you watch the fights with your friends, you watch MMA, you watch boxing, you're going to start to see things that they don't see. So if you're a betting man, you want to put some money on a fight, and you see the guys who utilize this type of footwork, maybe you make some money with it, or just bragging rights. You could say, "Watch what this person's going to do," because you'll start to see it 3 steps ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, this is not sponsored by DraftKings or anything like that either. So
But if they want to hit me up,
there you go. Hey, you talk about footwork. Does in your training and how many decades you've been doing this, has it made you a better dancer?
I would say so. You know, it's funny. I used to say that all the time. I'd say to people like, especially white guys, I'd be like, "Can you dance?" And they'd be like, "Nah." And I'd be like, "Damn, then maybe you're not going to be a good fighter." But no, absolutely. You start to learn rhythm, and then you just get the confidence. Most of the time, what you see is fighters they start shadow boxing on the dance floor. You got to start to break that pattern, and uh, and actually just let loose. But it's all as long as you got good music on. You got Evelyn Champagne King. You got SOS band playing. Yeah,
Are
I
you
can go.
old school? Okay, I like it.
Come on.
Hey, Fight Tips obviously doing really well on YouTube. I had the chance to surf your channel, and man, you can see the attention to detail that you put on your channel, and the content that you're putting is not it's not subpar, man. It's high level content, and I appreciate that. As a content creator myself, I always appreciate when people put time and effort into their not only their content, but like the direction and the storyboard of their actual videos. Um, with that being said, where do you see Fight Tips coming in the upcoming 5 years?
Next 5 years, we've really been promoting our global network called Magnus. So this is a coalition of some of the best coaches around the world. We've got Brian Popejoy, we've got Kieran Fitzgibbons, we've got Damian Alamos, we've got AJ Matthews, we've got Jessica Rose Clark, Luke Lisi. The list goes on. It's basically the Netflix of MMA. And what's cool about it is it really promotes the growth of martial arts and financially supporting all of these people that help us. So it's a profit sharing platform. All the members who sign up, we take a percentage right off the top of all our profits, and we split that amongst all of the coaches. So it's a community of people constantly uploading and adding new courses on there. We have curriculum. You can get belts through us. And if you're a coach, we have different systems in place too, so that you can take curriculum that we've created and teach that to your students as well.
I checked out one of your videos. "Help, I'm Getting Jumped" was the title of it,
Mhm.
and going back to your storyboard, it's laid out really well. How do you come up with your content, the videos that you want to complete?
Yeah, it's inspired by real events. So different fights that I've gotten in, usually things that I've seen or things that are happening in the news. But also, I've been spending a lot of time learning about story writing in general. I've been working on a comic that I'm going to be announcing very soon. So I'm understanding character arcs better. I'm understanding how to tease and hook people, um, and uh, and just tell worthwhile stories. You know, I always make sure that whatever I'm putting out there, I don't do a lot of call to actions. I don't ask for a lot. You know, I feel like I live a very fulfilling life, and at this point, I just want to make sure that people are becoming better as a whole. At least the people that consume my content. Um, and again, it's learning through my mistakes and providing the different things that I've learned through my journey. I just want to try to help the world as much as possible.
Now, another person that's going to be at FightCon is Rokas. Have you ever heard of the Ultimate Self Defense Championship?
I have. I've watched it. I'm a fan, and I've been asked multiple times to be on
So you already seen where I was going at with this thing.
it.
Because the reason why I'm talking about this collaboration is because a lot of the content that you create can coincide with this self-defense situation,
Mhm.
right? Um So, is it a no? You wouldn't want to be a part of the show? You wouldn't want to challenge yourself on this thing?
I think it's an awesome concept. I love how they're doing it. The production's amazing. The people that they bring on there is amazing. Again, the same promise that I made to myself about not competing and getting in the ring and fighting, it's the same reason. I want to take care of my body and my brain as much as possible, and those dudes go hard over there. Some of the knife fighting stuff, some of the fighting on a bus scenarios that they do is brutal. And I think I just appreciate watching. I get beat up all the time holding pads for my guys and sparring with my guys. I don't need any extra trauma to the head or body.
I was hoping that you and some buddies would recreate the 8 versus 8 video that you showed. I would just be the guy in the Pontiac, the Pontiac.
Yeah, that drives up in the end.
Yeah.
Save the day, man. Save the day though. That's you're a hero.
I've definitely been that dad to stop, honk ball horn to stop some kids from tussling.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. Like, I used to be the kid that was you in the field at the schoolyard that, doing things I shouldn't be doing. And now, fast forward 40 some years later, I am now the dad honking my horn trying to get kids to chill out.
Wait, are you in your 40s, Andre?
Yes, I am.
I thought for sure you were younger than me. Man,
Oh,
you look incredible.
hey, I'm trying, man. It's the green tea. I'm down. You know what?
Green tea.
I'm on a weight loss journey, man. I've lost 100 pounds. So
No way.
yeah,
Way to
man. I'm
go.
working, man, working.
Wow.
For somebody that wants to get on the martial arts journey, right? Somebody that wants to maybe do taekwondo or hapkido, whatever it is that they want to do, what would
Mhm.
be some advice from you?
Yeah, do some research and find the style that you like the most. When people ask that question, what style should I train? It's not about like what's the most effective in a self-defense scenario. The one that works is the one that you're going to train, the one that you're going to do. So if you get put into jujitsu but you don't like rolling on the ground, you're not going to stick with it. You're not going to show for class, and you're not going to have the passion to continue. So find the one that like really speaks to you and one that you're excited to go and train. And then eventually you can start to explore. Like I love the striking arts. I think to study that and the idea of a puncher's chance and trying to just increase percentages so that I get hit less and I land more fascinates me. My striking was awful growing up. I was the one that was always getting beat up by my friends when we would bring the boxing gloves to the schoolyard, and that fueled the fire. I wanted to get better at that. Wrestling came pretty natural to me, but I didn't go down that path. Now I'm starting to do more grappling and jiu-jitsu, and my coach Bob Peach always jokes and says, if you started jiu-jitsu the same time that I did, the same time that you started striking, you'd be a black belt by now. And it hurts to hear that, but it's like I know I'm going to get the black belt eventually. It's nice to be a student again and start to get that perspective. But yeah, find the martial art that speaks to you. Do your research, whatever one that you think is cool and you think you'll stick with, choose that one.
Mhm. What's your thoughts on power slap?
Hate it. I mean, if everybody has their own choice in life to do what they want, but I think it glorifies the worst parts of fighting, which is TBIs, traumatic brain injuries, which could result in some of the scariest, most nightmarish uh, effects on the human body. My head coach, when I came up and started training Muay Thai when I was 15 years old, Brad Daddis, absolute legend, pioneer in the Philly area, and brought martial arts onto the scene, was part of that old school training methodology where you would spar and it was basically fighting, and you would get knocked out and they would drag you off the mats. You'd wake up and you'd get back in and you'd do it again. To get your bell rung was a badge of honor. To get knocked out was a badge of honor. And all of that caught up to him. He fought, but not a ton. But all of that type of training, um, the effects that it has on him, he, forgets his children's name. He just turned 50, and this all started in his early 40s. So young guy, has trouble putting his pants on, has to do like different things to remember if he brushed his teeth, like feel if his toothbrush is wet. And to just think about like having those dementia type um, feelings at such a young age is so scary, and it could have been prevented. Power slap, I believe, just is the speed run to getting that. So if that's on, social media and television, and that's what kids are seeing, and they think that's cool or a career path, it's just, I don't know. I think in a couple of years we're going to start to see that all of the people that were in that are going to start slurring the words and being forgetful and having anger issues and all other just crazy, crazy stuff. And I'm not a fan.
This is yeah, this was always a thing for me when I first seen it come about is there is no studies for this specific sport, right? The slapping people, but there is studies for CTE. There's other different stories for head trauma, which is why I was surprised that they actually sanction this type of fighting.
Yeah,
Um,
follow the money though, I guess. And then the hospitals are going to make money from this. Um, so I don't know. I could go on a whole rant with that, but I think it requires very little strategy and skill. Um, and I think that's like the real fascinating part of fighting. Um, so I don't
what
know. It's boring.
is it hard? Is it hard to be conscious about I mean, that's the whole reason why I mean, it's part of the reason why you're not fighting, right? Is to make sure that you're preserving your mind, your brain cells, right?
Hmm.
And but at the same time, you are still coaching people that could get, a
Hmm.
traumatic brain injury. Is
Yep.
it hard to find the balance on like safety and also help, still fulfill this passion of mixed martial arts?
Yes. But you already answered the question, which is balance. That's what martial arts is all about. It's training hard and recovering hard. A lot of times we fall into that temptation to think we have to train harder, we have to spar harder. And again, I think it's all preventable in the training room, in the gym. Most people think that these TBIs happen in a match, in competition setting, and it absolutely can. But usually, the injuries that you see there, or the long-term effects that you see, happen from the training methods that people are doing. And just, I think it's an old school way of training. Like nothing bugs me more than when I'm on Instagram and I see people hard sparring, or the dumb coaches that have their students put their hands behind their back and they punch them in the face. It's lazy and it's dangerous. And as long as you're training correctly, like you can train your reaction time and you can train your eyes to be strong without actually getting hit in the face. I think these coaches that don't adopt these new training methods are, again, they're just ignorant, they're lazy, and they think like being a dog in the gym or being tough is like the only way, and it's not. And we're proving that out of Beacon. We're very conscious of making sure that our athletes are safe, um, training in ways that make them better strikers, better athletes, without risking losing brain cells.
You doing fight tips and giving personal experiences. What was it recepted really well from your local community as far as like being a coach at Beacon and then
Mm.
doing these videos? How has the response been on the social aspect of it?
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be haters, but I think just like anything else in this world, when people judge, it's based on their own personal feelings without actually doing any research or getting to know somebody. Um, I like to think that everybody that I've rubbed shoulders with, uh, I get along with everybody. Everyone, for the most part, agrees with my methodologies, and there's going to be haters that say like I didn't compete enough, or people who say I've never fought, and just again, like I can't take that personally because those people are just ill informed. Um, no, I think for the most part, like having the fight tips guy local to them, they want to come and they either train under me or spar me, which I feel like I always got a target on my back, so I got to avoid those people. But no, very very positive, and I'm grateful for that.
Being a coach, obviously having your own brand and coming out and doing seminars and doing the social media content, you have a lot on your plate. And you talked about the partnership that you got going on, and you just have a lot going on. So, what is the biggest challenge professionally for you right now?
Um, that's a good question. Biggest challenge, I think just maybe balance. No, I'll tell you what it is my body is starting to feel it. And it was in just, I would say, the past 3 years. my shoulders, my knees, especially my joints are just they're feeling all the pad work. They're feeling the trainings catching up. Um, so the energy's still there. I still feel healthy otherwise. It's just waking up in the middle of the night because my shoulder's killing me, or taking a step down an extra step and feeling it in my knees. Um, I have to just be a little bit more cognizant of my recovery, massage, and making sure that I'm not overdoing it in the training room.
Is Shane proud of himself?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I always was too. Like that's something that I got it. Like I said, I got my first job when I think I was 10 or 11 delivering newspapers. I continued to work. I had three jobs at one point. I was bartending, I was teaching, I was doing personal training. Um, so I always worked my ass off, and never cut any corners. And I've been proud of the young Shane and how hard he worked. Um, and I never lost that work ethic. And I've always been, I think, a morally aligned person. So yeah, I am proud of myself.
You mentioned that cognitive health is very important for you, and part of that is learning Spanish. How's the Spanish coming along?
Oh, terrible, dude. Terrible. It's hard, and I really Duolingo is a great app for bringing people back, and it's addictive, but I didn't feel like it was actually helping. Um, yeah, I've been a little lazy on that front, and I got to step that up because I really want to start to learn, like, again, about other cultures and different perspectives. I would love to be able to go to Mexico and just have a conversation with someone out there. So eventually,
You pick up any Thai?
no, no, it sounds terrible, man.
He's like, I picked up elbows,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
picked up
yeah,
some knees, but
yeah. I could speak it this way, but not verbally.
hey, are you? Do you follow mainstream combat sports like one in UFC?
Of course, yeah,
All right, so UFC 320 is coming up. Was it Ankalev and
Ankalaev.
yeah, Ankalaev and Para 2 coming up. Light heavyweight championship. Who you got on that fight?
Yeah, if I remember that first fight, I don't think I actually saw it, but I remember Pierre just kind of got uh, his striking was negated by Ankalaev's wrestling. Um, it's a hard hill to climb if your grappling isn't up to par with your opponents. It's one of those things. Like I remember when Rod Tang fought Demetrius Johnson. Do you remember that like hybrid match where the first round was Muay Thai, the second round was MMA, and everyone was saying, Rod Tang's Muay Thai is great, and I'm like, I agree, but DJ's no slouch, and his striking is good enough to survive. And if he makes it to the second round, there's no way that Rod Tang's going to win that. And people are like, well, Rod Tang's been practicing his wrestling and his grappling. And I said, for how long? Like a couple of months, a year, 5 years? That is not enough to go against someone of the caliber of wrestling and grappling that Demetrius Johnson has. So I think that might be a similar outcome where I think the wrestling is going to prove supreme.
All right, so you're saying Ankalaev wins?
Yeah, again, I don't follow UFC as much as one, but I'm gonna go with that.
All right. The next one on this fight is a co-main, and it's for the bantamweight title. Marab and Corey Sandhagen.
Yeah,
Sandhagen for me has been on a phenomenal run of balancing social media and and fighting.
yeah.
So I'm kind of biased. I really want him to win, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it'd be great for the sport if he won. And here's the thing, and I'm gonna take this out of my coach's playbook, Bob Peach. The one thing that Corey is going to do really well against Marab's wrestling is he's not going to concede and go to his back and play jiu-jitsu. I think his scrambles are really good. He's good in turtle. He's good at rolling through, and just being slippery and preventing Marab from again, getting him on his back and ground and pounding and wearing him down. I think that's where Sean O'Malley kind of had some problems was if he gets taken down, he goes to his back, he gets full guard and he starts to play jiu-jitsu. And I just don't think that's how you beat Marab. You got to out wrestle him. You got to be smart on the feet. You got to set traps. That's going to be a tough fight. And I'm not going to make an official prediction.
All right. Because predictions suck anyway. Why do we do that? I don't
I
know.
only do them when I'm 100% confident, like Bud and Canelo. But otherwise, yeah.
I was on the opposite side. I did pick Canelo, and all my friends let me hear it. And to be honest with you, I just went against the grain. All my friends were like Crawford this, Crawford that. I was like, I don't even like Nebraska. I'm going with Canelo.
Omaha.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the
Um,
best, man. He's the best.
you'll be out here again October 4th for FightCon. Get your tickets at fightconexpo.com. Have you been to Salt Lake City?
I have not. No, I'm really looking forward to it.
First time. It's October. We're on the like. I mean, you're from the East Coast. You know about
Mm,
cold.
yeah.
We're on the downhill stages of summer. We're looking at the highs in the 70s, almost
Mm,
80s, but definitely bring a hoodie.
yeah.
And do you have anything on the agenda? When do you fly in?
That Thursday. So what is that? The 13th or 12th?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna spend the weekend there too. My wife's coming out, so we're gonna explore and look at some restaurants, maybe go for some hikes.
dope,
Anything
man.
you recommend?
Oh man, any hikes. I mean, we have beautiful mountains, Big Cottonwood, Little Cottonwood, go up to Park City. Talk about dining. Park City has phenomenal dining, but even downtown Salt Lake has good dining. Anything outside is A plus, man. We have, like I said, great trails. But if you need anything while you're here, man, then just let me know. All right.
Thank you, Andre. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you need some content, you need the studio. I got it, I got it for you. So just let me know what you need.
Cool. Cool. Appreciate you.
All right. So again, he's gonna be showing you some footwork that can not only help you win a fight, but also get you on the dance floor winning as well.
That's it, man. That's right.
That's the sales pitch. That's the elevator pitch right there.
That's going on social media.
FightConExpo.com. Get those tickets. Hey Shane, is there any how can we follow you? How can we follow your journey, the YouTube channel, and all that good stuff?
Yeah, you can just look up my name, Shane Fazen, or Fight Tips. It should pop up. I'm on just about everything.
Yeah, you're killing it, bro. You're inspiring, you're motivating people, and you're doing it morally, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do. And we look forward to seeing you October 4th at FightCon.
Same here, man. Appreciate you, Andre.